Page 41, Russian Sailor Dance. 4/4 time. Let's talk about this. There's not much going on for the right hand, but let's talk about the right hand anyway. In the first line, you only have one note, and it's middle C, and your thumb's there. So that's where your hand's going to go. So you're playing that. In the second line, you got it again, and now the next measure, you get an E. Hey, you're going up in the world. In the third line, you get these, use the wrist here. There's staccato, you can play them short. Third measure, that D and an E, huh? And then the last line again, that's really about all the right hand's doing. All the good stuff's in the left hand. Speaking of left hand, at the beginning, your second finger's on the A, so that's where your hand goes. And you get the notes, and then the second measure, it's one, rest. And then the third measure, you have that sharp sign in front of the G, makes it a G sharp. And that applies for the rest of the measures. So all of those G's are G sharps. And the next measure, they got to give you another sharp sign if they want a G sharp, because the previous G sharp quit at the bar line. It doesn't count anymore. So now they give you another one. And that last note in that last measure, the first line, that is a G sharp also, because the sharp at the beginning of the measure applies for the whole measure. And then the second line, rest, rest. And that's pretty much the left hand. I mean, the next two lines is about the same. Put the hands together and you have this. Here, you're in this position, so you're here. You see, my problem I have with these things is that if I play it for you like I just did, you'll just listen to that, oh, I can do that, and you'll just copy me. You won't worry about all this stuff going on in the music. Yeah, I need you to try and figure it out in the music first. Try and understand what's going on in the music, and then you check it with me. So in the third line, we got both hands going here. The melody's still in the left hand, so keep the right hand a little soft. Except for that note, that's melody. And so forth throughout the piece. And that's it. That's really the piece. Add the staccatos, and I recommend go ahead and do a wrist staccato, because you've got chords in the right hand, you can keep them the same. Just keeps it simple. See, the second measure is not staccato, you got to connect those. Now, a little bit about slurs. You have to be careful. Technically speaking, you would separate each slur with a little bit of silence. Take a look at the second and third measure of the second line. Here. Then lift up a little silence for the next one. So they would sound like that. However, we have to keep in mind how music is notated and how it has evolved over the years, the centuries. It's not that old a piece. It's back in the 1800s, I think, is where it came in, Metronome. But a lot of times back in 1700 and before, and even in the 1800s, they would not carry a slur over a bar line. It's just the way they did it. But you would still slur it as though it were over the whole thing. Here is a good example of that. They're slurring each measure, but really the slur is the whole thing. All of those last three measures of the second line should all be connected, slurred together. They all go together, so it's like there should be one over the whole line. And frankly, I think they should have done it, because we do it today, so why not? The last line's the same thing. On those two slurs over those measures, I'd take a pencil and draw a slur over all of that. From the beginning of the second measure to the beginning of the last measure, all of that is slurred. Dynamics, MF at the beginning, loud at the third line down, and that's pretty much it. But you can do that. Now there is a note there, a creative note underneath. I'm going to let you deal with that if you want. I don't really even agree with what they're saying there, but if you want, your teacher wants to get into that, you go right ahead. Now, what they're saying is this is an arrangement, and you can rearrange it if you want to. And experiment, play at different parts of the piano and have fun with it. This idea of playing the end on the lowest A on the piano, I disagree with. I think it's completely out of context, because you're up here, and to suddenly come down here at the end and go here, it's like, where did that come from? So I wouldn't do that. Maybe your piano's a short keyboard and you don't have to go that low. That might work there, the next to the lowest A, but not the lowest A. That's the bottom note on a piano, on an 88 key piano. Let's play it together slowly, just to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not doing dynamics. You can do that. I'll give us 4 counts. Go ahead and put your hands where they go. 1, 2, ready, go. There's a duet at the bottom. Let's play that. I'll give us 4 counts. We're going to speed it up a little bit because this is a rather fast piece. I'm not going to speed it up all the way, but we'll speed it up a little bit. So go ahead and put your hands where they go. Oh, by the way, I need you to go an octave up. So rather than here, just pretend middle C went up here and go up here. So you go up here, and we'll play this together. 1, 2, ready, go.